Hello, hello, hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my channel. I'm Fifth Degree, but you can call me Fifth. Okay, y'all. Ultimately, okay. So when it gets real hot outside, y'all, right? Y'all know how I am. I can't do the heat. It happens every summer. This should not be news to anybody who's been following me or watching for a while. I heard it's not. I just wanted to hear your voice. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't do heat for real. When I went to Atlanta, some I complained. Well, I didn't complain, but I let it be known it's too damn hot. It's too hot there. I could not do it. But that was the first time. It was so hot there, y'all. When I tell you, I had a whole motherfucking headache. That shit, my head was pounding. I don't even care about the spell work. I could tolerate the spell work aspect as long as it's not hot as hell. But the second time it was that I went, right, I it felt a whole lot better, like energetically as well, but also it felt better with just being uh the temperature wise, right? The temperature. Uh Ultimately though, yeah, today was it was one of those days where it was like, okay, I really need a vacation. I need a break. I've been doing so much. I've been moving around a whole lot, even when I technically know I'm not supposed to. I was supposed to, yeah. And when I think back over it, it was like, damn, I was supposed to, had things decent in order, so I could have took a sabbatical. That's what I was initially trying to do, so that I can get a lot of stuff in order. But because of a lot of crazy stuff that was going on, I wasn't able to do so. And with it being known that I'm essence sensitive, and yeah, with all this stuff being known, it was one of those people intentionally doing shit. It's like, okay, so you blocking me on purpose, which means you really don't care about me or anything it is that I have going on. You don't care about my family. You don't care about my livelihood. So yeah, and that is very hurtful. It's extremely hurtful because I care about what happens to other people, regardless, even if they did something wrong to me. I try to figure out why it would be that they would have done it. Yeah, and try to aid that, even if I'm not the cause. You know what I'm saying? So, in any event, it was realistically just a matter of me having a good idea of what would be happening in my life at that time and period, right? So, as time has been progressing, I just took today to just let everything just flow and funnel through me because, yeah, I need my own space, and I'm working towards it. And I don't like harboring feelings when I go to the next level. Now, true enough, Gemini, yeah, true enough, uh, I do have a Gemini North, and I do come off as a Gemini often. Uh, when it's all said and done, though, I know I have a good heart, and I know who I am, regardless of what the zodiac signs would express in that regard. Uh, but to take it there with the zodiac aspect, what I'll say is there should be realistically the understanding of it being known. Uh, Everybody needs a break from time to time. And when you go through certain situations and there's a lot of push and pull and all that, the main thing it taught me, especially with working with teenagers and with me having teenagers, is when they get to arguing and fighting and all this other stuff, what they're really trying to say to you is, I know how to do this myself. And if they need help with certain things, they'll ask for help with certain things. Uh, and that was, in short, I know that everybody ain't me, and I'm okay with it. And it would be nice if others would understand that they need to be okay with them not being me. I said, I'm so sorry for what I did to you. I'll make it up to you. I don't know who that is, but that depends on who it is right now. Because right now, regardless of my character and me being a good person, I still need space from a lot of the fuck shit and the bullshit. I, yeah, I'll let you know when I'm ready when I'm ready for it. I'm not ready for that right now, and I may not be ready for it no time soon. But in that mean in between time, what needs to take place is, yeah, work on yourselves. Ultimately, is what it boils down to. And I've been going through a detox, both spiritually and physically, and just over the course of this year, especially with the experiences coming back to back to back and shifting so much and having to see so much on a continuous basis, is one of those I don't want that stuff in my head. Uh, and part of it, yeah, that's kind of bothersome to me is Sphinx stated that he been having night terrors and shit. Yeah, he wasn't talking about that kind of shit until he came in my essence, and it's one of those damn. Her, it's not your fault. Okay, I understand it, but still, like part of it, right, is me understanding that I said I don't want you to be scared. No, 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 no. Let me explain it. Heard, okay, I'll be quiet. All right. Um, I'm not ever gonna like it when I know that a person around me is in any type of pain, energetically or otherwise, whether I cause it or not. That's the mother side of me, right? I just want to kiss it better and make it better. And I know it be times when I can't do that. Also, I would like to applaud him for even creating and letting it be stated. Yeah, because that's the beginning part of the healing process that comes into place. I'm extremely proud of Sphinx. I really am. Because yeah, if you don't know, you can't grow from it, right? Or even start to speculate as to what would be able to be done in order to make things better to, with, and for you, right? Uh, I do plan on popping out just for a little second. Uh, I heard tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow. Regardless of how it go down, I just the way I would like for it to happen versus what actually happened. It just is what it is. But I know I did make that particular commitment, so to speak. Uh, so I'm a keep my word in that regard. That was part of the reason why I didn't want to do too much or nothing today, and I really wanted to ground myself because it's like, nah, it's something that I'm supposed to be doing right now. What am I supposed to be doing? And as soon as I spoke that out to the universe, it showed me, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I could do that. That ain't gonna be no problem. I didn't get the opportunity to take my kids to go see Lil John, right, when he came to the armory. And the reason why we weren't able to go was because they weren't old enough to be in the armory at that time. Since then, I have been able to go to the armory while it was still open. But her, how you figure that out? Because of the last reading it was that I did, where I said I'm talking about the Second Amendment rights, and yeah, King of Wands, Queen of Wands, and all that shit. That kept coming up a whole lot, and I know the varying ways that it comes into place. And I was like, oh, okay, this is making up for that time where I wanted to take my kids to that, but I wasn't able to. What about? I think my son has to work. I didn't reach out to him because I know he got a lot of stuff going on, but I'll make sure I reach out to him Yeah, he hadn't responded the last time. All right, cool, cool, cool. Don't worry if he can't make it. I'm on. Yeah, and my son, he purging a lot. Like I heard, I don't know if he was creating, but I heard him going off about having to walk some fucking dogs, and yeah, he was just going in, and I was like, well, damn. Yeah, just because I heard it don't mean that I need to write it out. You get what I'm saying? Because that's him purging and dealing with what it is he needs to deal with. And I'm grateful that he does have an understanding of the way that communication and manifesting works, and even releasing stuff would go on and come into place. And that's the other reason why I will say I'm proud of Sphinx, because he be getting hints on stuff it is that's going on around me just the same as I get what's going on around him. And he just put it out there. He knows I'll see it. Yeah, he don't judge it or anything. And it was one of those, okay, you know what? Yeah, with different partnerships. Well, close when you're being closer in that partnership. It's the way the energy works. It is because hey, Sphinx, if you listening, you need to, yeah, you look up the birth charts too. Don't leave that only to me. Heard I am okay. Don't just leave that up to me. Yeah, because a lot of the different spaces that he has certain things, it hits me in a different space. I had noticed that that would go on and that would happen, and it's so serious. It's not even necessarily about quote unquote twin flame journey, but when you're an essence sensitive individual. Okay, I'm gonna put a pin in that thought. Okay, but depending on the height and stuff of the person. Yeah, because I noticed with guys who are really tall, who are a lot taller than me, it wasn't always a good fit because I'm feeling everything that's coming through. They solar or not, yeah, solar plexus and heart chakra would be literally right at my crown. So what will be coming out of their heart and what's in their actual heart, that'll be what will be coming out of my, out of the top of my crown, or out of my head. Like that's why you want somebody who is shorter, more relatable. Uh, that is what preempted me to open and expand my thoughts. It is because for the longest time I was like, I don't want to really date nobody younger than me. Not because I felt like it. Yeah, it wasn't because of maturity level, but it was because of like possible backlash and stuff. And then it was like, you know what? Fuck you. The motherfuckers who's older than me, they all tripping. They make me want to punch them in their motherfucking throat and kick them in their knees, and yeah, make me want to fight them so damn hard. It's like, you know what? I don't want to do that no more. I ain't trying to fight with nobody. I just want my heart to be safe. I just want my spirit to be safe. I just want my kids. Yeah, I just want everybody to be safe. So that means I'm gonna have to shift and change the way it is that I do things. Now taking a pen out of that thought, I don't like Dirk like that. He already knew that. I stated that on my channel several times and cut cords from his ass and all of his little followers and everything several different fucking times during Mercury retrograde. The motherfucker was being unnecessarily stubborn. That's not persistent. That's stubborn because when no means no. If a person don't like it, they just don't like it. One of the things that was coming to me is the whole having pretty eyes and all this other shit. That don't mean shit if your soul is fucked up and if you continuously using people. I do my background research on everybody. Yeah, I do. And it's one of those, it helps me determine what intent would be. Me seeing that he will have as many women out in the community with his seed and him not being responsible, that doesn't make him a community leader. Unfortunately, it does make him a target, still nonetheless, but not necessarily to be uplifted because that's narcissism. I don't like being used. So when I initially stated that I didn't like him like that, it should have been respected. And the fact that it wasn't respected, yeah, it's the same with everybody. When I said I made my choice last year, before, last year, yeah, when I said I made my choice last year before my birthday, I meant what I said. And putting Sphinx in an unnecessary ass battle when he not the one you really have to fight. It's me. I told y'all that a long damn time ago. Damn what y'all gladiator, warrior, man child shit says. It's not ever the other man you have to impress. It's me. And you doing stuff to hurt that other person just because you think it's gonna make you look better in my eyes, it's actually gonna make you look so much worse. And I will take my anger and my rage out on you, opposed to that's why you was on my side. No, it wasn't only that. It was a lot of different reasons. When you see a person's heart and then you see them actually going through the process and them having to speed through a process that you've had years to go through and them actually understanding the process and having a little pushback, but the pushback is only because of influence around them and not having a good support system around them. It makes you pay attention to it. And the fact that it was the support system that was around wasn't supportive, was supposed to be the homeboys, quote unquote, and the bros and the friends. It's one of those y'all all full of shit. Because at the end of the damn day, you all, everybody wanted the same damn thing. I recall that because even during some of my readings, I want to say maybe about 2, 3 years ago, it had came across my table that even the necromancers, they want love. Now, what constitutes as necromancy in 3D or real life is like morticians and people who work in like funeral homes and doctors and yeah, all that constitutes as necromancy. But people always want to take it to the lowest form. Not to say that the lowest form don't exist, but that's the first thing they go to. And it's like, no, you don't have to go to that. I did have a dream that I had had several times beforehand, and it's always me being in like this buffet or what would look like a buffet, and I would be going through the line or whatever. Now, and beforehand, it would only show me like bits and pieces, and then it would show me like the train and all this other stuff. Now, the train portion, I've actually, yeah, that ended up coming into place when I was down in Atlanta, and I had took all those pictures and stuff. And it was one of those, okay, I got that part, but I don't know what the restaurant would be or where the restaurant even is. Yeah, so I'm looking at different restaurants in Atlanta so I can see well on YouTube and through like the little pictures to see if I can see which restaurant it would be. But in any event, in this restaurant, so to speak, I was sitting there and I was waiting. Within me waiting, it was the old version of, as I now address him as fuckboy. Yeah, because he knew about all this shit, and he did me dirty with taking. If anybody ever took real credit for someone's success, it was him doing that to me, and then trying to flip that reverse psychology bullshit. It's like, nah, dog, we're not gonna do that. I've not ever tried to take credit for your success. Your success. I've always simply stated, look, don't make it seem like I didn't help. It don't even necessarily have to be that I'm a part of it or I'm a big part of it or none of that. It's just one of those. All you have to do is say, yeah, this person helped me. She good. But instead, all of the lies and shit that went on, you could tell that that wasn't the conversations that was had, and all the frustrations. Even when it came to him picking somebody to, yeah, because he was gonna just skip over all these other people just to give it to this person just because they was wanted or say names if you have to. Yeah, he was just gonna skip over Marty and who's the other dude? He's a cameraman now and he's a Leo. He was gonna skip over him. Yeah, he was gonna skip over so many different people just to give it to Kaylee, and it was like, nah, don't do that. These people have been riding with you for a while. She gotta earn her spot just like everybody else has to. You don't just give it to her just because of some bullshit. Cause he, at the time that I had even told him that, he had asked me, well, do you want it? And it was one of those, no, I don't want it, but I want you to do right because I know how karma works and how shit works. And I didn't want for him to have to go through the bullshit just because he was being bullheaded and stubborn and manipulated ultimately. So there's that portion. But I'm in this restaurant and I seen an old, yeah, it was from hells ago. Uh, and what ends up happening is I kept trying to talk to him, but then me trying to talk to him, he wasn't listening. And he went to go talk to the other chick, Portia. She came up or whatnot, and he was talking to her a whole lot, and I'm just on the side. And sure, he had already blocked me completely the fuck out by this time. If we're looking at it from the Facebook aspect, he had already blocked me out from that time. And I wasn't creeping and stalking on his page or nothing when a lot of the shit was that was going on. Yeah, I was, in short, I had telepathy even then. Same shit, not because I'm saying that you are not alone. Even then, it was just one of those I didn't show a lot of people because I knew it would cause a lot of backlash. And then it was like, fuck it, I gotta be myself. And so what ended up happening in this dream though was, the funny thing about it is, when I first walked into the restaurant, it was this real pretty woman. Yeah, she was tall and caramel colored. And I'm hearing somebody say, "That's me, that's me." Okay. But she was tall and she was caramel colored. She was real pretty. Uh, she had on a red dress, but that would indicate a withered or jilted lover. Her shit, yeah. And within that person, her is not a third party situation. Though I understand. I figured as much because it took place in a restaurant. It didn't take place in a house. Her damn good. Okay, but in any event, when I seen her in a dress or whatever, uh, it turned out that I asked her like where I was like, where my food at? Yeah, I was just joking. And she had pointed me over to the side, and it was like these big ass fucking hamburgers and French fries and all different types of food and shit. And it was one of those, okay, so yeah, so that's like the abundance aspect and stuff like that. Her following what you said. Oh, that's good. That's dope. Thank y'all. I hope they doing it like everywhere. Yeah, because realistically, we can't depend on the motherfucking government to do shit right at this point. And realistically, they won't feel the brunt of not receiving our votes if we're not taking care of our own people in our neighborhood. If we're not all humanitarians, they not gonna be one, or at least looking outside. Yeah, because for me, if I just cook for, I was always taught to, when I was younger, to at least make sure one other person outside of me eats, while everybody else was taught, that they could just feed for themselves. I would have to make sure at least one of the other ones would eat. What ended up happening is, heard you start cooking for your mama. I would cook for my mama. That's the one other person. And everybody else, they wouldn't want shit it is that I was eating anyway. And I had taste like my mom did anyway. Yeah, in short, that whole moment when you realize, oh my God, I have turned into my mama. I have turned into my parent. That's the reason why I push the understanding and conditioning and narrative of make peace with whoever and whatever would have happened with your parents. I know that you get upset behind it, but make peace with it so that you can learn from it and you can let that part go so it's not as harmful to your psyche. And you'll start getting understanding on certain things without you having to go through the same things it is that they went through. I just heard, I really respect your journey. Thank you. Thank you. Which is funny because now I gotta go on Amazon and see and see if the motherfuckers. No, because they told me that my bank, it was some banking information or whatever that needed to be addressed. I was like, all right, fine. I'll make sure I take care of that. Yeah, I'll go in and see what's going on with it. No, because last time I did it, I think I only got like $8. I sold 2 books. Larry Green, that's the other person. I should have said that man's name a long time ago. I apologize, Larry. Dead ass. Larry Green was one of the people who actually bought my book. He bought the book and he showed me the receipt and I got the money from it. So Larry Green. And I know he did something with Kim Whitley and a couple other people. Yeah. So him, yeah, he the dude with the lining. I don't know if he's still on my page. Him and I know that you think that I'm perfect, but I'm just as damaged as you deserve it. We all fall through at the end of the tunnel. I'm gonna have to make sure. Oh, so you better not humble. Claim your wins, but please stay humble. Humble. Claim your wins, but please stay humble. I'm humble, baby. I know you are. I know you are. That's another thing that is amazing because the more humble you are, the farther you get to go. I noticed that amongst the greats in music, in film, in artistry, in the medical field, they go so much further because you'll be able to get more help if you're humble, not to be confused with easily humiliated. And a lot of people, regardless how much I would say that, they still wanted to do the humiliation opposed to being humble. Yeah, for just acknowledging being humble. And it was one of those, you know what, today I just processed all that out. I finally was able to process out uh, the cat Jessie that was her, it passing away. I just was able to actually even acknowledge that it happened and how and the yeah and me playing the healing music, all that. I was just now able to even process that shit out, and it was because I didn't give myself the opportunity beforehand to do it because I was just quote unquote going with the flow, and not making processing your feelings a part of going with the flow is the thing. Now, cause I'm mooring my house on a regular basis. I do. I'm more, in short, I'm mourning the loss of stability that I created for my children with the intent of that stability being a part of inheritance for them. Because in my family, there's, yeah, it's not unheard of to pass a house down to your child. That's something that we have been doing on both sides of the family for a while. And due to egos getting in the way, I didn't get anything passed down to me, but that didn't mean that my children weren't supposed to have something passed down to them other than spiritual gifts. Don't get me wrong, spiritual gifts are great and all, but if you don't have a place where you can exercise them, exercise them, then what's the point in how? Yeah, because you can't necessarily always do them out in nature because it's not always safe to do that. I do gotta no, cause I'm kind of curious to find out who it is that kept saying Mama Janet. Mama Janet gonna cook for us. It's one of those. Whoa, who's that? Who's that little voice? Who's that? Who's these little voices expected for me to cook? I don't mind it, but yeah, cause I heard like the whole conversation, and I'm trying to depict if it was something that I was fantasizing, or okay, cause the conversation was Mama Janet gonna cook for us. It's like, no, we gonna be cooking for Mama Janet for a while first. She need a break. It was one of those, yeah, I do need a break. And I just listen in on it. So it's just that. In other news, though, I did see that Janet Jackson, she took a stand and was like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore because them allowing for it to happen. Yeah, that wasn't cool. I don't really care about none of the other shit it is that be happening. It's just a matter of you don't put a person, you don't. I understand the attempt, quote unquote, to make light of a situation, but you don't make light of a person's trauma, so to speak. Not in that way. If you do it, you got to find a tasteful way to do it. When a person is a reader, right? Yeah, when a person is a reader, that's the manipulation that comes with a lot of people being able to tap in or know about. Yeah, that is the manipulation. And it'd be one of those, nah, you got to take a stance on certain stuff. And I stand by what I said. Because if you're doing like love spells, lust spells, uh, money drawing spells on just this one person, but you're not doing it on every person it is that you coming across, yeah, that does constitute as cheating, spiritually and otherwise. I stand on it. You just doing it so you can make sure this one person stays stuck while you running the fuck around. Nah, you don't do that. That's not cool. That's very hurtful. That's rape. That's spiritual rape. And I know what that feels like. So, yeah, no, we're not doing it. But yeah, other than that though, I'm alright. I was able to wash my body off and cool down a whole lot. Yeah, no, y'all don't understand. I've been pissed for about, for real, about good 6, 7 years. So when I need to just spaz, let me spaz. Because I typically try not to bottle it up. I typically try to solution seek before I go to that extent. But when the solutions that are presented are completely disregarded, that's always a problem for me, as it would be for anybody. And it's not about being nice; it's about being a leader and being gentle with yourself just as well as with others. I love my anger though. I don't think people really understand it. I do love my anger because my anger makes me identify exactly what it is that needs to shift and change. But my anger isn't explosive and it's not impulsive any longer. I learned a really long time ago that the way that different diseases harbor or fester in one's body is by not addressing certain things. And sometimes a simple saying no to something can save a whole situation, save you and everybody else from a whole situation. And with me knowing that, it's one of those, yeah, it's one of those, I don't think people really enter under and understand uh, that age realistically determine the amount of pain that a person would have incurred, especially if they're intuitive. Because, yeah, even in that regard, because part of the reason why I didn't really want to go out during either Juneteenth or 4th of July is because it hasn't been as bad as the first time, and it really happened when I was living on the south side. Uh, I heard go ahead and talk about whatever you have to, baby. You so sweet. You so sweet. Thanks, Pop. I appreciate it. But ultimately, um, that first time, and they were doing spell work to draw and pull people. Yeah, it was a lot of different people doing it. So that I had to post on Facebook on 4th of July, and when I tell you, it hurt so. But I was literally feeling all of the lashes of my ancestors, every shackle, every chain, everything. And I was feeling it all at once. And then I found out later on, uh, yeah, I was having a whole bunch of visions and stuff like that. And you wanna know what the thing of it is with me working with Virgos, the actual Virgo sign, uh, I foolishly thought that it would be an asset because they would be able to help me organize better. Yeah, like different locations and what it is that would have been going on. And when that didn't happen, that was the heartbreak for me. It was like I was reliant on the how it is your mind would organize things and how it is, yeah, and logistics and all of that shit. And when that didn't happen, and I had to ultimately end up doing it by myself, it made me feel like I even wasted time in that. Yeah, it was like a ploy just to pull in something for them, opposed to actually helping me as an individual. And that's when I developed the mindset of it's best for me to partner with people who love me for me and understand that I'm already the type of person to fix myself. I don't need nobody else to fix me, especially if they're broken and they enjoy their brokenness because they benefit from it. I don't benefit from, yeah, I benefit more so from being whole and knowing how to piece myself together opposed to continuously being broken. No, cause what I'm hearing is it's B. I love her voice though, y'all. No, cause it be sometimes I be in the mix and I hear her, yeah, I heard it's the mix, baby. You know it's the bomb, babe. I'm just saying that's how I be hearing it. I'm working on my voice too. It was at one point where I ain't even like hearing my voice play back to me. That was something that I had to overcome. That's the real reason why it is that, yeah, if anybody has this underlying, oh my God, I've never not ever had an issue with the way I look. It's just, yeah, the way I look and the way I sound, they don't necessarily always correlate. But when I was at Delmar Gardens, thankfully, yeah, they let me know the way I look is the way I sound. It does match the way I look. I really did need to know that. I did. But I'm also theatrical because I do perform and stuff like that. I don't have anything like scheduled for it. I'm still trying to work through that, and I just got my own feelings together in regards to a few different things. So there's that part. Uh, and they really not together. They're just acknowledged that they are there. I haven't fully purged them yet. I'm gonna write them down. Her, have you wrote any poems? No, not today. Not today. I didn't. I think I might want to. But y'all know what happens when I just write poetry. My shit be tapped all the way the fuck in, and it be flowing, and I be hearing everything from everywhere with everybody, and yeah, I'm just trying to make sure everything all right. That's all with me before I do that. But yeah, today I had to really, really take care of me, and I'm proud of myself that I did. But yeah, uh, or have you been stressed? I'm feeling the stressors of the city. I always feel the stressors of the country. Yeah, I feel the stressors of everything around me. Period. If the person focuses on me and they from another country, I can feel everything that's going on with them and they country and all of that shit. So, but I do be feeling it. It's just one of those. Okay, yeah, process it out, make sense of it, and make sure you get some, take a nap. That's why I'll be, yeah, I'm real quick to tell something. I'm finna take a nap, and I heard you do that when you get angry. Ooh, you paying attention. Yeah, because usually if I'm angry, it's because I'm either horny or sleepy or hungry. In short, my basic needs wouldn't have been met. But yeah, other than that though, I hope everybody enjoys their weekend, right? Processes out their emotions. I'm hoping that yeah, they actually keep the kids safe because they're instituting um, some practices for the kids um, in my city. Yeah, they having a curfew and stuff like that. And I know the intention is to keep them safe, but I'm just hoping they don't manhandle the babies. Yeah, don't manhandle the children. I did see the baby. Yeah, I did see him and his healing and the healing color. I did see it. Yeah, he looked real good. I was real happy about that. I was real happy about that. Real proud of that. Yeah, whenever I see somebody healing, it's one of those. You motherfucking better. You better heal. Oh no, I don't like him like that. I have an Aries heart, and from what I was told, with me having Aries and Venus, I pursue the person that I'm in love with relentlessly. You passionate about it, yeah, and that went to Sphinx. That definitely went to him, and I was like, so everybody else, if it's one of those, okay, sorry, you didn't get around me fast enough, or yeah. Oh, I just heard they not the one for you. I am. Ooh, okay, Scorpio Venus. In any event, though, I'm just hoping everybody does okay. I love you with all my heart. I love you too with all mine. Y'all make sure y'all keep each other safe though, like for real. Even within having all of the loving feelings on the variant aspects, whether that be you even have a love of competition and all that, just keep it safe out here, y'all. Because people be plotting and planning and with the fireworks and stuff, you just want to be careful and be mindful that, yeah, they be trying to use that stuff to cover up fuck shit. Uh, but yeah, I'm hoping those mirror frequencies help. If yeah, I'm on the energetic level. I'm pretty sure y'all gonna let me know. Was it anything else? Yeah, I saw Moneybag Yo had he had a new drop within the past 48 hours. I want to say it was like under 20 hours. But and it said same number. And I'm like, and then I listened to the read and I was like, I know ain't nobody using this same motherfucking number. Why would y'all duplicate my number? To call and fuck with people. Yeah, yeah, that's one of those. That's bullshit. That mean a bitch can't. I can't even have my own number to myself. Oh my god, y'all making my life so difficult. Why? Why are you like this? No, and it makes me feel some type of way because it's like, hey, those people it is that are in the higher ups, why ain't y'all help your girl out? I just heard we are. That's how they know it's not you. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm gonna shut the fuck up then. I won't. I won't even. I won't even go. No, because that voice, yeah, was very sure. Yeah, and reliable is the word I want to use. It was sure and it was reliable. In that regard, thanks. Appreciate you for looking out. All right, yeah, I'm watching the sun go down. It's very pretty. Oh, look. Look. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. All right. Light love to y'all, okay? Light love to y'all. Um, please make sure that y'all keep each other safe. Handle your own issues as best as you can. Process. Uh, follow your processes that you know work. That's the best way that I could say. And lashing out at someone else doesn't necessarily always work. One of the things I am seeing, and yeah, is uh, utilizing an actual punching bag opposed to a person is really helpful. And I haven't had a chance. Man, there's so much stuff I used to do to be able to get my anger together, and I ain't even been able to work out the way I want to. That's bothersome. All right, light love to y'all, okay? Cause see, remember, light work. It ain't light work. It is not light work. It's not light work, and that's why you have to stay like. Oh, closing seal is reading. Okay, I'm a closing seal and lock in this reading. Right? I know that I was doing a reading. I was just clearing my head. And I ain't got no cards or nothing. But pause. Let me stop acting. I just saw fireworks. I just saw the fireworks. Oh, and I like fireworks. Okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and close and seal this reading. All right. Light love to y'all, okay? Cause see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. It is not light work. It's not light work. And that's why you have to stay light while you work,